Warning: you are about to witness the tragic tale of one Pacific dream creature who goes through unexplainable torment and madness that could lead towards insanity. How will this poor dream creature last within the events that are about to take place? And who will easily make it out alive? You are about to see exactly just how this began. There is, in fact, blood, gore, sexual assault, and more. For those who do not wish to hear this or cannot stomach this, I highly suggest you leave. For those who are brave enough, who can at least stomach this, shall pretty much prevail. For we shall pretty much take on the tale of the disturbing story of Stolen Dream. And yes, guys, if you probably should know, this is one of Danny's fanfics, or should I call it grimdark. And boy, let me tell you, this was definitely very dark when I first read this. I mean, seriously, it is really twisted. And if you pretty much could tell, I got myself a mask. Don't I look good with this? But anyways, the reason why I'm behind this is because, well, I pretty much can't really wear my glasses. So yeah. Try to wear a mask and wear glasses at the same time. Not that easy. And also, please don't attack Danny or anything. She pretty much did this and she went all out. And considering it's the month of October, it only seems fair. And when I first read this, I'm like, oh my gosh, this definitely needs a viewing. But yeah, like I said, as a warning, for those who pretty much don't pretty much want to know about the blood and gore and all that, it's pretty much best if you click on something else because this is not going to be a pretty fan story. Trust me. Well, then again, Danny mentioned it's headcanon slightly, but anyways, we are going to start. And Danny did put a warning on it. And as implied, read at your own risk. That I will. Anyways, let's begin. It was a tranquil night within the Dream Gate. No visitors to greet, no nightmares to fight, and no one to talk to. Knights gracefully flew around the fountain of the Dream Gate out of boredom. Huh. I guess all that tutorial and actually made him like that. There's nothing to do, the purple jester said as she sat her feet back on the cobbled stone floor. Knight stretched her arms and walked around the plaza. Where's that old bird when you need him? Yeah, where is Owl? What, is he pretty much looking around Nightopia just to make sure that no nightmares are around? Seriously, Owl, throughout the story, he's not in this at all. So, yeah. Knights continued to walk in circles, just waiting for someone or something to happen. Hours passed until she heard something coming in her direction. It sounded like it was coming in fast. Knight opened her blue eyes and quickly evaded the incoming attack. Finally, something interesting happens, Knight playfully replied as she faced her attacker. It was none other than her rival, Riala. He turned around and answered, If I knew you were that bored, I would have executed my plans earlier. Riella rushed towards the other Nightmare, only for Knights to dodge once again. Classic Riella. classic. I know she puts in classic, but just saying. Nice teased as she took to the skies. Riella smirked. It was just like he had anticipated. He had planned. I'm sorry, I can't really pronounce these words, even though clearly I can clearly read this kind of stuff because I enlarged the text. So yeah, my plan is working flawlessly. Uh, yeah, guys. Fun fact about Rialla in the story: he's a lot more sadistic in the story, and trust me, you will see why. The Red Marin said under his breath as he hid in the shadows. Huh, so he's a Darkrai. Night stopped flying upwards and started to look for Riella. She saw no sign of him making her feel uneasy. He never fought like this before. I guess he's switching up his strategy. The purple jester frankly looked up and down for her rival. This went on for a minute, until she felt a searing pain in her back. It felt like something had clawed her with burning metal. What, did Riella use a tool or something? Because that's not usually his style. He would usually just rely on his magic or something. Seriously, do nightmares actually use tools? You know, tools that actually make a little sense. Ugh. Night yelped in pain as she turned around, only to have a clawed hand cover her mouth. Night tried to scream for help, but she slowly started to become short-breathed. Night slowly turned her head to see Riella right behind her, holding her there in place with a pleasing smile. The purple jester saw the world go black, only hearing one thing, Riella's soft laughter as her vision went dark. Now, this is going to be a final warning, guys. From this day forward, from this moment forward, this is going to go right into the world of madness. So, yeah, this is your last chance to pretty much stop the video and go click on something else. Because from this moment forward is definitely something you wouldn't be able to stomach. I will give you 5 seconds. Okay. For those who are still here, I give you my salute. Anyways, Night slowly woke up on her back in an unknown location. As she tried to get up, she found her limbs strapped down to a table of some sort. She felt panic grip her as she started to pull on her restraints. What's going on? Night thought to herself as she tried to break free, but a familiar voice made her stop in her tracks. So, my little Marin is awake. Night turned her head to her left to see Riella come out of the darkness with a big smile plastered on his face. Riella! Where am I? Did you do this? Night yelled. Riella only continued to smile as he came closer to the distressed Marin. Oh, relax, my dear. You will be fine as long as you listen and cooperate. Listen and cooperate, Riella said in a menacing tone, making Night nervous. Riella went over to her right where a small cart was carrying sharp medical tools on it. Okay, seriously. Since when did Riella have the need to use tools? I mean, the only excess we got is a cage, but that's about it. And maybe chains, but maybe that was Wiseman. So I guess from what I get here is that Wiseman finally decided that, you know what, Knights' will can't be broken by sheer force, normally. So, Riella, go and capture Knights, torment her until she can no longer take it. Yes, master, I will not fail you this time. Just saying, maybe that little prologue might actually work. Danny, point that. Leave a comment if I'm actually kind of right on that one. The pinned Marin froze in fear as he took a small blade off and came back. What are you going to do with that? She asked as Riella came closer. I am going to perform a few tests on you. I have been dying to see the results. Okay, apparently Riella is going to be the Joker in this story. No, seriously. Is it pretty much... People honestly confirmed him to be slightly like that. Heck, in Klonoa Dream Bullet, Mega Man X actually commented about Riella actually being that. Since when did Joker and Ragdoll got confident in their battles? Or something like that. Anyways, Riella said with a crazed look in his eyes, making Knights panic and try to break free. Riella placed a hand on her chest and forced her down. Let's not do this so early. Continue to fight me, and I will punish you. Knights didn't believe him as she tried to force herself back up. Riella rolled his eyes as he removed his hand and went back to the cart, pulling out a small coal furnace that was running. A few spear-like items were sticking out of the furnace. As he took one of them out, it appeared to be a branding iron. And now I'm getting flashbacks to cupcakes. No, seriously. This segment is like, when I read this, I'm like, oh my god, I immediately remembering cupcakes. Why am I getting flashbacks to cupcakes? And I was like, please tell me Riella isn't planning to turn Knights into cupcakes. I mean, seriously, I don't think Nightmare would actually taste that good. Unless, of course, you're Cerberus. Riella came back with the item on hand. Okay, seriously, did he just pretty much put the hot coal in his hand? Wait, did he just put the item in his hand? Because you gotta be wearing gloves, dude, or at least keep a pair of tongs with you. You don't want to have burned hands. Trust me, I know. Also, fun fact, I actually did burn my hand at one point. Oh boy, that was not a good time. Wait. As he waved it in Knight's face. One last chance, Knights. Stop or this, he said coldly. Knights gave him an arrogant expression as she tried to yank out of her restraints again. Riel rolled his eyes and then placed his hand upon her diaphragm. He then stabbed the blazing iron in her lower stomach. Ouch! Ah! Ah! Sorry. Wait, gotta use that later. Knight screamed in agony as she felt the iron burn through her clothes and into her flesh. Riella held it there for a minute until he removed it, revealing his mark upon the Marin's peach skin. I don't know, Knight's flesh didn't look that peach. Honestly, it looked like a slight pale, honestly. The burning sensation lasted for a few minutes as Knight tried to hold back tears. Oh boy, poor Knight. Honestly, consider all the humiliation defeats. Riella, for once, is actually doing something that actually is making him win. Okay, I didn't want it to be like this, but at least it's something. Will you listen now? Riella asked as Knight stayed still. He smiled and placed the branding iron back into the furnace. Riella then brought back the blade from earlier. Okay, let's try this again. Riella placed his hand on Knight's chest once again and pointed the blade down towards Knight's red gem. Oh boy, I definitely know what that is. It's like, remember the scene where Pinkie Pie cut up Rainbow Dash's like wings or cutie mark? I think that's exactly what that reminds me of. That's what this reminds me of slightly. Then again, I'm gonna bring a lot of moments from Cupcakes into this. But here's the thing. Riel doesn't dissect Knights. Just gotta point that out. Knights looked at him scared of what he was going to do next. This will pinch a bit. Riella plunged the blade on the edge of the gem, piercing her flesh. Knight screamed in pain as she felt the blade slowly go deeper into her chest. Riella slowly traced out the gem like a dotted line with precision. He smiled and took the blade out of her, leaving to get a new tool. It looked like a blade, but it was curved like a spoon-like shape. Knights looked at it in fear as Riella came back and quickly went back to what he was doing. The blade dug into the earlier incision, making Knights feel the anguish and pain shoot through her body as the curved tool slowly was pushing it in until it exited out the other side of the incision. Or something like that. I am sorry, I can't pronounce this word. I'm sorry. Please stop! Knight screamed as Riella started to shift the blade in a scooping manner. Oh great, Knight is being scooped. Now I'm getting sister location on the mind. Slowly losing the red gem from her chest. Okay, so the gem is really tough to get off of her. Because if you must know, that red gem is part of the idiot. The red idiot. If you guys don't know about that. You can actually look it up in the Knights comic. It actually did show that Knights in fact had that. Or how Knights got it. Okay. It took some effort to free, but Riella was becoming impatient. He wanted to get to the real fun. Screw it. Riella muttered as he pulled the blade from her chest and used his hand to yank the gem out in one powerful tug. Riella grinned as he heard Knights begging in cries and take the gem out completely. He took the gem and placed it on the cart along with the other tools, leaving Knights to whimper on the table. Oh, look, Knights, it's your precious gem. I finally managed to get it off of you. You sick bastard. Hey, language, Knights. I don't care. Okay, they don't say that, but come on. With a situation like this, you can't help but easily think of something like that. Also, Danny, do you think that would actually be accurate? Just questioning. Riella walked back towards his subject. That wasn't so bad now, was it? Wasn't it? Riella asked calmly as he watched the blood flow out of her flesh wound. I guess it wasn't that deep, I guess. Knights didn't answer as Riella grabbed another tool off of the cart. It was a normal blade. Knights finally gained the courage to open her eyes, seeing another blade. No, no more. No more. She pleaded towards the other nightmare. Riella felt satisfied with this, and he wasn't even done. Riella placed the blade near the gaping hole in her chest, sending painful shock through her chest. Knight yelped in at the pain as she then felt the tip of the blade on her stomach. This isn't going to be dissection, don't worry, like I said, but it does feel like that. Yeah, it's really hard to see with this mask, guys, I'm sorry. I must be honest with you, Knights. I always been a bit amazed by your body's form. So thin, so beautiful. Okay, Riella, are you trying to flirt with your own sibling? Okay, don't worry, guys. He doesn't do anything beyond that. He's just toying with her. Seriously. The only thing we got here is just little bits of what Riella does. But really, it's the tools he's using. Riella said, teasing her with the blade running up and down her stomach. Please. Knights begged as she watched Riella do this. She didn't want to go through another painful session. It was already hard to breathe with that gap in her chest. Well, Knights doesn't really have a neck. Okay. And humiliating feel as if she was nothing more than a caged animal. Ironic because Knights has been captured multiple times in a cage. Seriously, why am I getting reminded of that? Oh, who am I kidding? This is definitely making me reminded of this. Riella then lifted the blade and stabbed it in her knee. Night squealed as she felt the pain consume her leg. She flailed and kicked with her other leg, trying to break free. It was already too much for her to bear. What did I tell you about moving? Riella yelled as he pulled the blade out of her knee and stabbed it in the other. Knights continued to scream and pulled against her restraints. Knights didn't want this anymore. He didn't want it in the first place! She had to escape somehow. Hey, if Garahim can literally keep Link in a place with chains and stuff, Riella pretty much has the advantage of keeping Knights on a table with restraints. The only thing that Riella would definitely be weak against is, well, chains. Then, of course, Knights actually being fused with Dreamers also is a plus. Just saying. There has to be a way out. There has to be. She thought to herself as she struggled to get up. Riella left the blade in her knee and went back to the cart with the branding iron. Oh, great! Once again, Riella plunges the burning iron on her, but this time on her inner thigh. Ouch! Ow! Knight's big down on her tongue this time. Why not just the lip or something? Trying to be a little original, I guess. Wait, do you honestly do that? I don't know. Someone post a comment below if that's actually if that's a thing. And this time, if there was no invitation to escape, and Riella was enjoying her torment, Then she refused to give him any satisfaction. Like I said, is pretty much the Joker in this. Because, the Joker's pretty insane, and Riella, okay, he's not insane, just saying that what he's doing is pretty psychotic. Hey, what's wrong? You were screaming murder a few seconds ago. I refuse to give you the satisfaction of winning. Knights panted as she tried to tough out the pain. Riella didn't think this would last long, and shrugged it off. The Red Marin removed the branding iron, revealing another mark. Riella smiled and placed the branding iron back and grabbed a couple of syringes. Okay, then. If you want to be so brave and strong, try to survive a few of these doses. Or as Riella would say from certain games, have some of this! No, seriously, if you actually play Sega Superstars Tennis, he actually says that line. Or, pretty much, could have used a line like this. You're making this so easy. Seriously, Danny, could have made some use out of those lines slightly. Riella took one of the syringes and stabbed it in her arm, injecting the fluid into her bloodstream. Knights lost control over her body and started to violently shake and spaz. She tried to fight against the drug in her system. What kind of drug did he use anyways? Seriously, what kind of drug did Riella use? Honestly, Danny, you might as well clear that up, please. But it overpowered her. Riella watched the display with intent, watching the Nightmare's body turn against its owner, causing more harm to the frail figure. This went on for 5 minutes until Knight felt herself grow tired and numb. It hurts. Knight mumbled under her breath. What was that, Knight? Something wrong? Or something wrong? Yeah, that works. Reality is, as he rubbed Knight's cheek, we are getting close to finishing our test. Just keep still and you will be fine. Unless you want me to get the iron and adrenal mixture again. Knight closed her eyes and nodded no in defeat. Yeah, remember how I said a Knight pretty much had a will that would never be broken? Well, this is the thing that's happening. Okay, if Sonic can last at least about 6 months going through Tourment, then I think that, well, okay, this is Knight pretty much being held captive by Riella, and Riella is tormenting her. Does that mean that Sonic is a lot braver than Knight? I don't know. I'm just really confused about this. Take a wild guess what I referenced. Of which Sonic game I referenced for that. Riella smiled at her response. I knew you would see things my way. Let's continue, shall we? Knight whimpered in response as Riella grabbed a new blade. Now, I have something for you to do in this test. Knight didn't respond, only stared into the dark corner in the room. Riella turned her head to face him. I need you to count down from 20. And no matter what, don't stop counting until you hit 0. What happens if I mess up? Okay, what the heck? Okay. Riel smirked at this and answered, then we will have to start over and over again until you finish, or run out of the room on your body. Does that mean he intended to remove the limbs and her head? Well, then again, Knight's head would still be alive because, you know, the fact that he doesn't have a neck. Knight gulped as Riella placed the blade against her stomach again. It's almost over. No, wait, it's not. No, that's not Riella. Dang it! First the birthday special, now this. It's almost over. It's almost over. Knight repeated to herself as Riella signaled to her to start. 20, 19, 18, 17. Riella then gashed her stomach deeply, causing her to scream once again. Riella stopped and waited for something to happen. Knight stiffened up and continued counting down. 16, 15, 14. Riella smiled as he continued to slash at her stomach. Okay, seriously, it would have been smirking, actually. Or smiled evilly. Could have gone with either of them. Knight screamed the numbers until she finally hit 0. Riella stopped, leaving Knight to feel the searing pain on her abdomen. Riella put the knife back and grabbed a towel to wipe the blood off his hands. Well, at least he has some sense of, yeah, I don't really like getting dirty, so I'm going to do that. At least he has some standards. Knight started to feel her head spin and the room blacked out. When Knight woke up, she's still in the same room, strapped down to the table, but covered in bandages. I didn't expect you to last this long. You exceeded my expectations, but we are not through yet. She heard Riella's voice as she turned away from his direction. Like I expected, you would do this in an attempt to ignore me. But your obedience to me is starting to show after our last test. So don't try to ignore me now, because... Riella whispered in her ear. Okay, seriously, what ear? Nightmares don't really have them, unless you're counting right near the horn. I am already inside your head. Okay, when that line actually came up, I assuming this was all in Knight's head, and that it was kind of on drugs or something. Not that there were drugs in this, and boy, this is going on for 30 minutes. Wow. I am so sorry for the delaying, guys. I'm so sorry. It was continuing. Knight's eyes widened in fear as Riella backed away from the distressed Marin. What were these tests doing to her? What was Riella's goal for this? Nothing was making any sense to her. Riella just tormenting her, and Knight knew it. But another voice slowly started to rise amongst the other. If you listen, Riella will let you go, and it will be all right. Why are you assuming that's Danny talking? I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's the author. No offense, Danny. You're still cool. Knight felt the conflict with this as Riella came back with a blindfold. Okay, I didn't think 50 Shades of Grey was your thing, buddy. It's not that. Oh, then what's with the strap? Strapping Knight's down. It's not that either. Just saying. This felt strange to Knight. No weapon this time around. Knight looked at him weirdly as Riella covered her eyes. Now, let's perform the test. Perform this test. Hey, as long as it's not Portal or something. Actually, I prefer Portal at this point. Because at least with that, you actually have a robot that actually is giving good commentary. Or something like that. Knights couldn't see anything, only hear what was going on. She heard nothing but the clattering of metal and her heavy breathing. Knights then felt something rub her cheek. She flinched out of fear. Relax. It's just me, my dear. Riella purred as he continued to stroke her cheek. Riella stopped after a few minutes, leaving Knight alone again with her thoughts. What is he doing? Why is he doing this? It's almost like he's taunting me in some way. Oh, what? It's real. What do you expect, Knights? He has hunted me down, captured me, and now he is torturing me. What is he doing to me? Knights thought as she started to pull on her arm restraints, since her legs were still hurting after they got stabbed. She needed to get out of here, even if it cost another paint of blood. Hint of blood. Ugh. This was her sanity at risk. Like I said, it's madness. As Knight tried to escape again, she felt something grab the side of her hip and forced her down. What did I tell you about trying to escape again? Knight stopped the moment she heard his voice, fearing another punishment. Please, not again. She heard Riella chuckle at her response and used his claw to gently glide across her chest down to her leg. Knight panicked, thinking that it was a blade satisfying Riella's lust for fear. Well, he is a nightmare, and so I guess it makes sense. But still. Also, I think the point for Riella's bloodlust came from one of me and Danny's kind of RPs we were doing. Seriously, I think she honestly got the idea from that. Again, she goes all out with this one. Then again, I haven't really seen her past work, so I guess that's that. He sat upon the table and started to stroke her belly. Okay, Riella. Seriously. I know you like torture, I like to mess with knights, but I didn't think you pretty much would go that low. As in the standards. Seriously, man. Knights feared his next move. His advances on her. You look so adorable the way you are right now. You even have a tint of pink on your cheeks. How sweet. I think that's blood you basically had left, Riella. Reality is making the purple Marin shudder under his touch. Riella slowly shifted his hand down towards her inner thigh again. Oh, don't worry. I don't plan to do anything to you there. Oh, thank goodness! Just making sure you stop bleeding there. Riella, you're a crazy doctor in this point. Oh, boy. Knights felt Riella untie the bandages on her thigh, but he never wrapped it back up. A moment of pure silence carried on until Knights felt something touch her in a private area. Okay, Knights is supposed to be genderless, so there shouldn't be anything down there. Just saying. Unless, of course, the dualizing meaning that Knights can actually remain in a gender for some kind of period of time. I don't know. Knights gasped at this as she felt something that felt the sharp object rubbed against her. Knight started to tear as the pain of her being violated sank in. Yeah, sexual assault, alright. Knight whimpered and started to cry as she felt what seemed to be a knife piercing through her thighs and slowly plunged it away deeper into her. Oh, great, Real! You had to use the knife? Oh, boy. You know, you're making hentai actually seem more tame compared to this. And I'm talking about the modern time now. Knight wailed in pure agony, feeling her wealth break under the pressure. She never had felt a pain like this in her life. Knights would rather get stabbed again than have this. No! She screamed as she couldn't hold back her cries anymore. Riella took pleasure in his partner's dismay as he slide the blade in and out of her private section. This went on for a few more minutes until Riella decided to stop and carry on with his final tests. Oh my god, we are getting close to the end, guys! Riella untied her blindfold, revealing Knight's red cheeks covered by an endless stream of tears. Oh, so they're from tears, okay. From her sealed eyes shut. Open your eyes. Knight slowly did. Seeing the blade Riella used on her, Knight started to feel more heated tears leave her eyes as she turned away. Oh, please, Knight. This wasn't even the worst part yet. One more test and you're free. Knight perked up a bit at hearing those words as she choked on her tears. I just want to go. I don't want this anymore. Knight whimpered as Riella placed the blade down on the table. Seriously, is that table even close? Okay, one more test. Don't be so uncouth. He actually used that line in Journey of Dreams, by the way. Riella teased as he gave Knight a kiss on her forehead. Well, that's kind of tame, I guess. Seriously, Riella, what gives? He then left to get a new weapon of choice, a pair of scissors. Oh my god, it's Corpse Party! I know exactly where this is going! This will be your last test, and I will let you go. Behave, and it will go longer. Think of it like ripping off a sticky bandage. I really don't know what to get from that. Riella calmly stated as he grabbed Knight's lower jaw and forced her mouth open. Riella pointed the scissors towards her mouth and slowly opened them. Knight started to scream, knowing his next move, making things difficult. But Riella didn't care at this point about being gentle. He forced the instrument in and caught her tongue with the middle of the blades and pierced to cut through the top flesh. I told you! Corpse Party! Seriously, if you don't know what Corpse Party is, trust me, it's pretty much of a really disturbing anime. Ugh. Ah, sorry. Camera out of the way. Knight's eyes shot wide open as her screams filled the room once again louder than before. Will you stay still? Riella yelled as he took Knight's tongue out of her mouth. Riella carelessly flinged it away, seeing no use for the organ as he let Knight recover for a few minutes. Just kill me already! At this point, I wouldn't blame Knight for wanting to die. I mean, after all of this, I feel so sorry for Knight. Seriously. I just want to hug the poor Marion at this point. Oh, wait. Pretty much when he got captured and pretty much the start of the Tourment. Knight tried to say with what was left of her tongue as her mouth filled with blood. One more thing, Knight. One more thing, Knight. Riella says Knight looked up at him. Or to him. He held the scissors right above her face, and with all the might he had plunged it into Knight's right eye. The tormented Marin's screeches wouldn't save her as Riella yanked her eye clean out of her socket. I think Lust would actually kind of approve of that. I don't know why. That or envy. Either of those two. Riella had an insane grin upon his face as he laughed in pure enjoyment mixture with Knight's screams of agony. She blacked out after a few more minutes of screaming and crying. When Knight woke up once again, she found herself back at the Dream Gate. She attempted to get up, only to feel the searing pain from earlier shoot through her body. Knight winced and landed back on the ground. It wasn't a dream. Knight thought to herself as the bitter memories rushed back into her head, making the pain intensely difficult to bear. She had been kidnapped, tortured, and even assaulted, all out of sick gains. Knight slowly picked herself up and back up, crawling to the edge of the fountain to see what her tormentor had done. Knight couldn't even recognize the person in the reflection of the water. Just when she thought she ran out of tears to shed, more started to come mixed in with the blood from her missing eye. Is Knight gonna wear an eye patch now? Because honestly, that would actually be interesting. Knight placed her head upon the fountain's edge and started to cry with what was left of her dignity and crackled voice. She was left there alone for an hour or so, not seeing a dark figure watching her from the sky, smiling at what he was seeing, and flew off. And that there is the end of the story, guys. Oh boy. When I first read this, I was immediately just shocked. I mean, seriously. It's not often I actually get stories like this, and I would actually assume this is a nice creepypasta in itself, because, well, hey, they're pretty much hard to find, because the only time you get a Knights related thing is just Five Nights at Freddy's. So, Danny, nice to see that you actually chose to do something a little, to break the little, thing. But, anyways, yeah, like I said, don't hate Danny on this. She actually did put time and effort into this kind of story, and she definitely went all out. I mean, Riala, he was very sadistic and just, oh man, it was just so freaky. And not to mention that Knights was the victim. Oh man, it was just wow. I mean, if this actually gives a parallel of Cupcake slightly, it had an alternate ending where the captor where he pretty much lets the victim go, but humiliated and broken. And well, that's all I'm pretty much gotta say. All I gotta say is that this was definitely dark, and it definitely deserved to be shared with you guys. So yeah, if you do pretty much manage to read this, please tell Danny that Ashley sent you, and please don't be mean to her or anything. She pretty much did this for fun, and not to mention, she definitely put a lot of work into this. So yeah, this is Ashley, and I'll see you all later. See you then.